welcome to the How to Learn Anything course from Plato University, where you're going to learn the science-based tools of pro learners to accelerate your learning, remember more, and master any hard skills. These are the secret techniques they didn't tell you in school. If you're passionate about changing your life with learning, join us at plato.university to get exclusive content with every lesson. I'm your learning guide, Brandon Stover, and let's get started. All right, today we're going to be talking about technique number 4 in active learning, which is interleaving. Interleaving is the process of mixing different types of tasks, problems, or topics together as you're practicing or studying them. This is also known as mixed practice, which would be the opposite of blocked practice, where you focus on plenty of practice with a single concept before dropping it to move on to the next concept. So let's give an example of this. Let's say that you are learning how to be an artist and you want to learn the styles of 10 different artists. You could sit and view a dozen paintings by the first artist and then move on to view a dozen paintings by the second artist, and so on and so forth. But research shows this is actually counterproductive. And as tempting as it might be to study each artist in one block group, you should actually randomly interleave pictures by different artists. So you could start by first looking at a Picasso, then moving to a Van Gogh, and then moving on to another artist. This style of learning can seem a little bit more chaotic, but it gives you many more chances to contrast the differences between the styles, which helps you to much more rapidly develop your pattern recognition skills. Now, why is this so effective in learning? Well, as I just mentioned, interleaving helps you to not only learn the concepts you're studying, but also to understand the differences between them. Another point when you're learning is that it's easier to pay attention to something new or novel than trying to sustain paying attention to the same material for an extended period of time. So by moving to new pieces of material to learn, you're giving your brain that novel stimulation. And if you're using the strategy to solve something that involves problem solving like math, physics, programming, or even cooking a recipe, interleaving can help you choose the correct strategy to solve the problem. It can also help you to see the similarities and differences between those different strategies. And as we talked about before, when studying the foundational material of any subject, by interleaving different problem sets or different concepts together, you give yourself more anchor points for pre-existing knowledge that you can use to recall from later, which will be really important when we start talking about engaging with material, practicing it, and bringing it from long-term memory. Now, what are the direct results for you when you start using interleaving? Well, blocked practice, as opposed to mixed practice or interleaving, gives us the feeling that we're improving quickly, even though it's simply another manifestation of the fluency effect. If we're studying something like math, our intuition tells us to get one problem type down, like calculus, before moving on to another type of math, geometry. Even most textbooks and traditional classes within school are typically structured this way. But interleaved learning allows us to draw distinctions between different topics and problem types. And this is a hugely important skill when it comes to applying knowledge. Without the ability to distinguish between knowledge, we fail to apply it correctly. Interleaving tends to feel more awkward because it involves introducing new problem types before we're comfortable with existing ones. However, long-term performance has been shown to be significantly higher in both motor and cognitive skills when interleaving is used. So not only is interleaving going to make you a better problem solver by understanding which concept or a part of a skill that you need to apply in this situation, it's also going to improve your ability to learn, actually practicing the skill of learning. Because when you learn anything, it helps you to learn anything else, because you're practicing the skill of learning. So by interleaving new subjects, you're getting more repetitions of that learning skill. Additionally, as you're introducing those new novel concepts, it allows you to take advantage for enthusiasm and passion for learning in real time. Now, how do we apply these things at Plato University? Well, our courses are designed to be easily consumable so that you could take 2 or 3 courses at a time, interleaving the different skills that you're learning to ultimately help you reach your goal. Now, how do you start applying interleaving into the things that you're studying? Well, if you're studying things under the same concept umbrella, say a skill like learning how to be a video editor, switch between ideas during a study session. Don't study one idea for too long. When you go into new study sessions, go back over the ideas again in different orders to strengthen your understanding. And as you do this, make links between the different ideas as you switch between them. Now, it's important to keep in mind how much you switch between topics. While it's a good idea to switch between ideas, don't switch too often or spend too little time on any one idea. You want to make sure that you've covered some ground before tackling a new idea, because switching too often can start to look a little more like multitasking, and you definitely don't want to do that in your learning. If you're doing practice problems or exercises of a topic, an approach you can take is to create your own list of problems from different problem sets. Now, what if you're learning multiple subjects in order to do something? So let's say that you're trying to create a course for the first time and you need to learn video editing, you need to learn speaking, you need to learn content creation, how to create a draft of your course. Something that you can do is what's called cross-pollination or skill stacking, which is basically learning the related materials of different subjects at the same time. So you can take one concept that you're learning from how to do video editing and another concept of how to be a speaker and another concept from, how to create a course outline and start interleaving those in your practice as you begin learning them. Again, this is going to feel really chaotic trying to bounce around, but it's going to help you start connecting the different materials from each one of those skills. Another thing that you can do if you are learning one skill like video creation is interleaving the different sources that you're learning from, called brute force learning, which is something that Jonathan Levy mentions in his book, The Only Skill That Matters. And the idea is that you attack a subject that you don't understand from as many different angles as possible to really understand the subject. So maybe you read an article about how to do video editing, then you watch a video course, and then maybe you listen to a podcast later. And by hearing it from different people and reading it and consuming it in different ways, you're allowing your brain to pick up on different concepts that are similar throughout each one of those pieces, but maybe able to understand it easier from one of the people that's teaching it rather than the other. And this practice is actually quite freeing because it helps us to see that we don't have to understand something the very first time that we learn it. We can go and learn it from a different resource to better help our understanding. To practice interleaving today, I want you to go and try and learn something else. Go learn a new topic, start reading about some other skill or concept that you wish to learn, and then maybe come back and listen to the next episode of this course. Here you'll be interleaving different concepts, starting to expand the network in your mind. If you're already learning a different subject while you're taking this course, then in the coming days, practice learning each one of these courses by interleaving when you're doing them. Thank you for taking the How to Learn Anything course. To get everything you need to become a pro learner, including advanced resources, personal coaching, and a community of passionate learners just like you, then visit plato.university/courses/learning and join us for free. Again, that's plato.university/courses/learning. This course was produced by Plato University, where students turn passions into purpose and learn skills to change the world. Learn more at plato.university.